Hey everyone, it's Carolyn Edlund, the founder of Artsy Shark, and I want to talk today about your artist legacy and what will happen to your art when you die. It's an interesting question. It's come up a couple of times lately with people who've contacted me, and I thought I would make a video about it because it could be something you should be thinking about. I received an email not long ago from someone who said, there's an artist that I know who's working in this specific medium, and she has too much work in her studio. She has too much inventory. She needs to get rid of some things. She's getting older. And we just thought perhaps there would be a museum that could take her work. Well, it is very unlikely that a museum, even a small one in your specialty, is going to take work that you don't have room for, or that you don't want anymore, or that is left over from an artist's body of work when they pass away. So it is unlikely, unless perhaps you're already in that museum, they've been searching for more work of yours, and you have a relationship with them. But that's really not a good possibility. So what does happen when people get older? Maybe they have an extensive body of work, things that are not sold, things that are in their studio. What happens to them when they pass away? Well, it may be that your family would like to have your art, or maybe not. There are people who said, my kids want none of my art, and that's entirely possible. Or maybe you have quite a few pieces and they might want a certain piece, but not a lot. So what happens to work that's left over, a large collection? It could be that you put it up for auction, and this is not unusual. However, I've spoken with auctioneers about this, and really what they're looking for is work that is of value. So it would be quite saleable, and therefore you'd have to have an appraiser come out, maybe look at the work, take an evaluation. What is this worth? And it would also need to be a large enough estate that it's actually worth putting on an auction for. So it may be that it works, it may be that it doesn't work. Of course, an auctioneer is going to do what they feel will be most successful. So what are some other options? I don't know the exact answer for you, but I did come across an artist who had a very interesting solution. She was a sculptor, and she had quite a few pieces of work that were very wonderful pieces, but her family really didn't want to own them all when she passed away. And not only that, but she had been diagnosed with cancer, and she knew she had about a year to live at the time. And so we discussed it, and what she decided to do was to put on a retrospective of her work in a rented space and to just put on the show herself. She wanted to invite her family, she wanted to invite her friends, people that she knew who liked her work, to celebrate her life as an artist, so that she would have an opportunity to say goodbye to people that she'd known. Perhaps they didn't know she was ill, or maybe she didn't want to promote that, but she wanted them to celebrate her life with her. And afterwards, people who expressed interest in certain pieces, she decided to make gifts of her work to them to remember her, and so that they would have a very special piece that had been a gift. I thought that was a really nice decision of hers to do. She didn't have to find a gallery that was willing to give her a show, and it's certainly something to consider. Have you ever thought about your legacy and what you'll do if you have work in your studio when you pass away? What's going to happen to it? Have you made any plans? I'd love to hear your comments in the space below. Let me know if you thought about it and what you've decided to do.